Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on Inside Politics for this week. I am Iniobong Iwok. The 10th National Assembly has moved to amend the 1999 Constitution. Public hearings were conducted and concluded in 6 regions across the country recently. However, the debate whether the existing constitution needs amendment or the country needs a new constitution has continued. Many Nigerians say that the country needs a new constitution, that the current one was foisted on us by the military, and that it does not address several socio-economic challenges preserving the country. But there are some Nigerians who say that it would be wrong to throw away the entire constitution, that the problem of the country goes beyond the current constitution, but that the real issue is those operating the constitution. In the public hearing conducted by the National Assembly, issues such as federal restructuring, local government autonomy, state police, and special seat for women topped the demands by Nigerians. Joining me on the program today to discuss the 1999 Constitution amendment process and whether the country needs a new constitution is Olawale Okunniyi, Secretary General of the Patriot. Good afternoon, Mr. Okunniyi, and welcome to the program. The Patriot, as you know, is a non-partisan group of eminent Nigerians headed by Emeka Anyoko. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon, Nigerians. It's my pleasure to be with you this afternoon.
Yeah, it's good to have you on the program. First of all, let's look at democracy now. Before we talk about the whole process of amending the constitution, what is your take on democracy in Nigeria? More than 25 years now since the military handed over power in 1999 to Olusegun Obasanjo. How have we fared so far, looking at all the parameters?
Well, for us in the democratic movement, democracy has not taken root at all.
Okay.
It has not taken off at all. And why is that? The question of the topic we are discussing today. It hasn't taken root, it hasn't taken off. You don't have some scholars, like the late Professor Ben Nwabu, they have argued that we do not have democracy in Nigeria yet. Because at the root, at the fundament, and at the foundation of every democratic agreement, which is the constitution of a country that is democratically agreed by the constituents or the citizens or the peoples. So that did not happen at the outset of the current civilian regime or administration. And so it's been argued that there is what we have is mere civil rule that is being militarily structured, but democracy has not taken place, that we do not have democracy. And so when you look at all what has been happening in the country, so you can conclude that we have done more anti-democratic proceedings.
Will you say that the 1999 Constitution or the present constitution itself, looking at the several challenges that we've had since 1999, will you trace that to the present constitution?
Oh, yes. That is the point I'm trying to make, that at the root of every democracy is a democratic constitution, democratically agreed by the city, adopted, endorsed, and adopted and owned by the citizens and the peoples of a particular country. And that we do not have yet. What we had in 1999 was an imposition of military decree, 1999, Decree 24 of 1999, that was christened or dubbed or tagged 1999 Constitution by the military, because they were in a hurry to leave, and as they have lost credibility over time, and they were not prepared to wait any further. So they decided that, well, the civilian regime will have to work out that and give unto the country a democratic constitution. But ever since then, the military, the civilian administration, successive civilian administration have been busy with politics of, resource acquisition here and there. And so they couldn't give real time for nation building, democratic constitution making, etc.
Mr. Okunniyi, many Nigerians have said what we are seeing now is that ahead of 2027 election, just this dispensation is just halfway, 2 years in office, and what we have seen so far is that in the last few months, electioneering has begun. Endorsement, defection of politicians from one party to the other, especially to the ruling party. Nigerians have said rather than for them to try to implement their campaign promises, fighting poverty, which has become widespread across Nigeria. People have said that probably the problem with Nigerian democracy is not about it's with the people. It's not about the condition. It's with the people that are operating this constitution. And probably maybe we have weak institution.
Since you don't have a strong constitution, you have weak institution, and then you have bad people governing, because power corrupts absolute, power corrupts absolutely.
Yes.
When people know there are no laws and rules and structures that are agreed by everybody, they tend to violate anything in space. So that is what you are saying. You can't have any good person. Human beings are not created to be good. No human being will be good. Thomas Hobbes said that human beings are essentially selfish.
Yes.
And then, and there is scarce resources, all of that and the rest. And so if you leave human being without an agreed rule that we all agree to, if you allow a section of the society to impose it, it will favor them. Because human beings are essentially selfish. If you allow me in my family to put a rule, I will put it to favor me. I'll look at my condition. So it is better for us to come together and put rules. So to assume that there will be good people without rules in the world, on earth, is fallacy. It's fallacious. You will never have. When you look at societies that have tried to organize themselves and adopt conventions and rules like Britain and the USA, you see that people from here go there and comport themselves. But when people come here, they misbehave. You see them do things anyhow, because there is no agreed common rule that we all agree to, and people are ready to defend because they were part of making it. Therefore, it's fallacious. It's a wrong assumption, very erroneous for people to say people operating, people leaders. You won't have any good leader anywhere. You will not. Even Jesus Christ said, "Why do you call me good master?" There will never be any good master on earth, on this earth, except
so
God.
You don't agree that
the thing that makes people good is the common agreement in a family or in a society that this is how we want to. Do we all agree to it? There will be consequences for not doing this. There will be reward for doing this. Simple.
Writing in the
human being essentially with power. You give me power, and you say you assume that I will be good. You must be joking. So first and foremost, organize your society with rules, commonly agreed rules. And when it is, then you can make laws upon it. There's a difference between a grown-up, a constitution, and laws made. Laws are made of the provisions of constitution. Constitution, the totality of the agreement of the Senate, to set the template. But laws are details then made thereof of the provisions of the constitution. They are two different things. So the parliament or the National Assembly is supposed to make laws and amend it.
I'm still coming to that. I'm still coming to that.
And amend their laws.
Yes,
I'm supposed to make constitution.
Yes, I'm still coming to that.
Hold on, please.
Yes, I'm still looking at them.
Please hold on, so that people can be educated. It is an aberration for a parliament to begin to doctor a constitution. In any case, anyway, the 1999 constitution is a mere law because a decree a decree is a law. It's not a constitution, it's not a grown norm. So when they continue to pass that, it will give you a popular, legitimate constitution. And so that's why we're in this doldrum in Nigeria. And there will never be any good governance except to go back to the foundation. But if the foundation be faulty, what can the righteous do?
Has begun the process to amend the constitution again. Many Nigerians have spoken against it. Some have actually supported it. Ezekosile speaking in Abeokuta 2 weeks ago said this process was just a waste of public fund. Do you agree that? Do you see anything coming out of this process?
I agree with Toto with
Ezekosile, former Minister for Education.
The sheer waste of resources, and that's what we have been doing. People, it's not job for the boys. It's just job for the boys. You know what we do in politics? Just create job for the boys. That's what we have been doing the last 25 years. We have not done real thing of nation building, and that's why millions are dying. So, insecurity in Northeast, in the North Central, in everywhere, because we don't have a constitution.
So
we don't have a democracy.
What? This process will fail
by common agreement.
What you are saying that this process will fail, just like we've seen the previous, the 8th and the 9th Assembly try to amend this constitution.
The entire process, this present democracy or civil rules is designed by the military in 1990 to fail, and it will fail if we don't do the right thing now at the right time, with the intervention of the Patriot led by Chief Emeka Anyaoku. You find out that, well, it's not central today, it's not east today, it may be southeast, it's even happening in southeast, and it will be everywhere. We need to sit down and commonly agree, and then go to a referendum, and then endorse our grown norm, the template for which we want to coexist, and then we can then begin to make laws thereof of the provision of that grown norm. That is how a nation is built. That's how America was built. That's how Britain was built. Speaking. That they agree to, their rulings of court that they agree to, their norms that they agree to it. And when there is disagreement, they go to do things like Brexit, which is referendum, which is plebiscite. In Nigeria 1999 decree called Constitution, there is no provision for the people to intervene, to have referendum or plebiscite. Unlike in the First Republic, the military closed everything up and turned the civilian to a military, unitary government.
All right.
You can't run.
But the Patriot met with the president. The Patriot met with the president last year. The Patriot met with the president last year, about a year ago, and then Anyaoku and Co. Told him the need to have a people's central constitution. They wanted the Constitutional Assembly to be set up by the president, where a new constitution can be drafted. What was the response of the president? It's been a year after that meeting.
Yes, he said he was going to consider that, and he was going to invite the Patriots to come and discuss the matter in greater detail. He was faced with economic issues, which he will continue to face. There is no way economic issues will run away where you don't have a democratic base for governance. You will continue to have it, and it will distract you so much that you just run 8 years. Look at Buhari. Look at Jonah. Look at everybody. It's just rigmarole. Rigmarole is nothing. So the first thing is to declare an emergency and say there is emergency on democracy. Let us fix our constitution. When we fix it and set the time, we all agree. Do we want to live together as one? How do we want to live? When we set that template, then we can do governance. But doing governance on military decree and run civilian regime run civilian regime on military constitution or unity constitution will not work, because Nigeria is a diverse society. We have diversity is humongous.
You were in that meeting with the president. You were in that meeting with the president.
And then you want to couple it and do straight jacket, mechanical, and syllabic. It will never work. So therefore, you must do the right thing, as our founding fathers have done in 1959, 1960, conference, and create a true federal system where the federating unit will be determined and they will control their resources and pay royalty to the center, and then they can be in competition to grow, and everywhere will be robust. That is what a lean center, not to go and have a strong center where nothing is being done than stealing.
Do you think the president is keen? Do you think President Tinubu is keen on heeding to the request of the Patriot, setting up a constitutional assembly to draft a people's democratic constitution? We've seen the president before he assumed power. He has always been a Democrat advocating for true federalism. You need to restructure the country. But why do you think the president seems to be showing a lukewarm attitude towards your demand?
I don't think, maybe he's not showing lukewarm attitude. Maybe he's taking his time to hit it. We're still going to meet him again, since he has requested that he will invite us to come and discuss. I don't want to be judgmental. I think that he's gone through the trenches with us over time, and he understands what we are talking about. He has advocated it, and this is his time to do it, so that people don't say that he was being opportunistic. He was just trying to use that as an opportunistic canvas to get to power. But now he's there, and I think that he will do it. I am inclined to think that he will do that. He has canvassed in the past, which is democratic, constitutional restructuring of Nigeria to true federalism, where democracy works for all. Everybody will enjoy democracy. He himself will enjoy it. You don't need, what do you need as a human being? You don't need too much. If you are deep, if you are ideological and philosophical, you don't need too much. You just need little. Other need little, then you have peace. And then this place will grow and open the environment for people to prosper. And the only thing is the foundation, which is politics, which is political. When you deal with the politics of the country well, you will succeed economically. But if you think you want to build good economy on a bad political land, it will be sabotaged.
Let me take it.
There is no amount of EFCC, ICPC. Go and bring 200, it will sabotage.
But there are some Nigerians who are opposed to.
Survival is the first instinct of man. People, even with all of the people going to prostitution, going to ritual killing, going to army, because they want to survive anyhow.
There are some Nigerians who are opposed to a new constitution.
The only thing that thrives in Nigeria today is politics.
Yes.
That's the only industry. Any other industry is closed off.
The former president.
Everybody, all the Yahoo, all the Yahoo boys, all the ritual, all the 419 goes into politics. People who are even ideologues, like us, no space. It was showing no space. So what are we talking about? People who even think rationally. But people want to make money, they just make the money in US and rush home and then put themselves in government and say that's the only tribe. You can't run a country that the country will go nowhere. It is that correct.
The former president.
Fact, you don't have to get rich through politics.
Yes. The former president Olusegun Obasanjo is opposed to throwing away this 1999 constitution. He said the problem with Nigeria is about the operator of the constitution, the politician. And not, he said we should not throw away this this document. Speaking in Abeokuta, Obasanjo said you were the one that represented him at the Patriot Summit. He said, for me, no constitution can be regarded as perfect. But whatever the strength or weakness of the constitution, the most important issue of my understanding and experience is the operator of the constitution. Do you agree with him? You don't seem to agree with him, do you?
Yes, the operators matter. The operators matter, but in fact, the most important is that you must have a good, democratic, legitimate people's constitution. That's the first thing. Then you can then deal with operator. You can't start with operator. They will never be good. You will never have a good society. So the first thing to do is first for you to first agreement. When you are having a marriage, the moment you think, assume that this man is good, that man is good, he's going to fail. But you are not leaving anything. You are going to a dialogue, a discussion, and based on that, initially begin to communicate, that this is what we agree, this is our understanding, and you begin to sharpen it. That's why constitutional making or review is a continuum. You can't stop it. It is discussing national life, national progress. So there is no amount of money spent on it, but it's not to amend a document that is ab initio faulty, that is wrong, imposed, that is military. It must be people's driven, people's owned. That is the problem we have with the amendment of 1999 Constitution, which is a military decree 24 of 1999, and it put us in a military job.
What is
Therefore, we must discard and throw it away.
Many Nigerians say
if we want a democracy, really, we get a people's constitution, a constitution driven, owned, and controlled by the people.
All right. Because of time. A lot of Nigerians are not satisfied with the public hearing that was there. They said it was not inclusive enough, and that they were not carried along. What is your? And there have been agitation for more states. People are calling for more states. About 47 groups are calling for different states across the country. What is your take? Special state for women.
Because the process is job for the boys. It's not anything deep or profound. It's not anything intended for anything. It's just for people to continue to be in power. Those in power will not want to commit political suicide. And therefore, you just do something to show that something is being done when nothing is being done. The fundamental thing to be done is to call the people to first a national debate, like Babangida did, national political debate. Two, then you set up a process of setting up a national constituent assembly, and then representative of the people are elected on zero-party basis or non-partisan basis to that constituent assembly. When they get there, they debate, they discuss, they agree to whatever. Then you have a concerned drafting committee set up to look at the resolution of that and put it in constitutional form. And then you take that constitutional form back to the constituent assembly to approve. They approve it. Then they take it to a referendum. And the referendum say yes or no. And that is it. It becomes a constitution.
Our time is up.
Doesn't even need the assent of government, because government are agents of the people.
Do you agree on some of the issues that were raised in the public
hearing? What we are saying is that Section 8 and Section 9 of 1999 Constitution be amended to allow the inclusion of a process of referendum, which includes setting up constitutional assembly or giving unto ourselves a new democratic constitution for Nigeria.
So where do the Patriot move from here? You had the program in Abeokuta last month, I must say. What is the next? What do you go from here? I know I was at your program in Surrey, where you set up a committee headed by Anyanku and the former governor of
not in Abeokuta, in Abuja.
Yes, I mean the one here in Lagos.
Met in Abuja at Transcorp Hilton on the 16th and 17th, and then Icon Luxury.
Yes.
And we thought to proceed to engage the Nigerian president and the leadership of the National Assembly, and that process is on. We'll be meeting the president very soon to submit or present the resolution of the National Constitutional Conference to the president. And then there will be a draft stakeholders bill, legislative bill, that will be sponsored to the National Assembly for some amendment to take place, which will give direction towards actualizing a new democratic legitimate constitution for Nigeria, i.e., that is the constitution of a constituent assembly that will give birth to all of this. So that is the
finally, sir, our time is up. Many Nigerians have said
an implementation
hello, sir.
Committee may be set up.
Okay, hello, sir. Maybe people have said your group should be more inclusive in the structure, or the way you operate. You should include more Nigerians, and you should probably carry out more advocacy and let people educate people across the country on what you are doing.
Yes, that's been done. That's one of the steps that we taken, because the implementation committee will drive around the country, mobilize Nigeria. We talk to mass media and do all of that, and then Nigerians in diaspora, persons with special needs, etc., the youth and co will be involved in that drive. You will hear very soon about an implementation committee of the National Constitutional Summit.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program for today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, sir.
Thank you. It is my pleasure.
I've been speaking with Olawale Okunniyi, Secretary of the Patriot, a non-partisan group of eminent Nigerians seeking a new constitution for Nigeria. My name is Iniobong Iwok. Thanks for joining us on today's program. You can go on YouTube and watch our previous edition, or follow me on Twitter at Iniobong Iwok too. Good afternoon and welcome. Stay tuned to BDTV.